Hi there, I'm Ben Mankiewicz. Thanks for joining us on TCM, where we're in the middle of a night dedicated to memorable movie goodbyes. Our last film, Casablanca, had as enduring and unexpected a farewell as any in cinematic history, with the possible exception of Titanic, where Kate Winslet decides to let Leonardo DiCaprio drown, even though there's plenty of room for two on that door she's using as a raft. That was a good one. Casablanca was this week's edition of The Essentials with my co-host this season, director Brad Bird. Up next, a memorable ending to a romantic drama from Columbia in 1973. Robert Redford and Barbra Streisand star in The Way We Were. Streisand is Katie, a vocal liberal activist who falls for a carefree golden boy, Hubble. That's Redford. Set against the political backdrop of the Hollywood blacklist, The Way We Were chronicles Katie and Hubble's passionate and tumultuous romance over 20 years, beginning when they meet at college in the 1930s. This is a case of opposites attracting on and off camera. Like their characters, Streisand and Redford don't have much in common, other than being enormously talented artists who've successfully directed movies while still maintaining their star power into their seventh decade. Maybe they do have something in common. At any rate, before filming started, neither wanted to learn too much about the other. They wanted the mystery between them to play out on screen, and it does. This is the only time Redford and Streisand work together, and their chemistry on screen is really something to see. It's a big part of why The Way We Were is connected with so many people. For 47 years now, people have stopped both of them to ask if they'll ever work together again, and particularly if there will ever be a sequel. More on that after the movie. All of that, though, was nearly moot because Redford nearly passed on The Way We Were. After reading the script, he sensed this was going to be Streisand's picture, that his part was too one-dimensional. When he expressed his concerns to director Sidney Pollack, Pollack refused to take no for an answer. He had the script rewritten again and again until Redford agreed. But when asked to cut his hair, his character is a naval officer in the film, Redford said, "No chance." Look, I sympathize with that. As a person who, similar to Redford, suffers from the curse, it is a daily struggle to protect yourself from people who constantly remind you that you have great hair. Now, where was I? Oh, right, Redford's hair. Streisand made it work in the story. As you'll see, she often runs her fingers through the front of his hair. From Columbia in 1973, also with an early performance from a young James Woods, The Way We Were. Despite its bittersweet ending, the combination of Barbra Streisand and Robert Redford made The Way We Were one of the top box office draws of 1973. Moreover, The Way We Were became a hit song, Streisand's first to chart at #1, composed by Marvin Hamlisch with lyrics by Alan and Marilyn Bergman. For years, people in and outside the business would ask both Streisand and Redford if they'd ever make a sequel. In 2010, they reunited on the Oprah Winfrey Show and said they came pretty close. Streisand wanted to direct a second film in 1998, the 25th anniversary, where Katie and Hubble would come together at their daughter's graduation from Berkeley in 1968. She'd be an activist like her mother. Streisand thought the story there was very interesting, but Redford, always choosy about his roles, told Oprah he felt some things are better left alone, and this was one of them. Coming up, Eddie Muller takes us on a detour down Noir Alley. Sorry, I misread that. Eddie Muller takes us down Noir Alley for Detour, directed by Edgar Ulmer. It's a picture that the great filmmaker and documentarian Errol Morris calls the best American movie ever made. I would stick around for that.